Hello and welcome back to this episode of your Kingsport Blog video update. I'm Jeff Fleming, City Manager. Last night's board meeting we installed the new Alderman and Mayor. John Clark took office and his term will expire in 2017. Mike McIntyre, Michelle Mitchell, and Tommy Ulterman were also sworn in and their terms expire in 2019. Because John Clark was a previous alderman, that created a vacancy that now must be filled for the 2-year unexpired portion of his term, again, which would expire in 2017 as well. Mike McIntyre was elected vice mayor, and the determination was made on the process to fill the vacancy. There's not a set in stone way of doing it, so the board can decide how they want to handle it, and it can be different with different boards. So this board has decided that they would like to fill the position at the next board meeting. They're required by law to fill it within 30 days, which would be August 7th. So there technically is there's 2 board meetings between now and then, but they'd like to get it done at the next board meeting. So they set the parameters that each board member will be able to submit one name. They've agreed to verbally submit them to me so that I can double check and make sure that any candidate that is suggested is actually eligible to be an alderman for for a variety of reasons. And then by July, that'll occur by July 13th. Then July 20th, they will discuss at their regular work session the names that have been submitted, and they'll reach a consensus on whose name would be advanced to a full vote the following night at the board meeting on July 21st. So stay tuned for the next couple of weeks, and we'll see what happens with that position. They also voted to amend the zoning of Bob Job Road. It's actually Mercy Seat Ministries. It would be done to accommodate a medical office that would be going co-locating with the church at that location. So it's located at I-26 exit 13, just off Eastern Star Road. That is a piece of land that actually is inside the city. They amended the school budget to buy 2,300 laptops for Dobbins Bennett, which is the next phase of the student device rollout that's been taking place. They approved funding to complete the City Hall improvements and the Midland Center improvements and the V.O. Dobbins improvements. And those affect employees in our legal, risk, and finance departments and HR departments. Our goal was to get employees out of the basement of City Hall. So in order to do that, it kind of created a cascading effect. So when one group was moved, it created a vacancy for somebody else and on down the line. So we're staging that to be able to make that accommodation for our employees. They approved a technology grant for the library to improve computer instruction classes, weekly job labs, and children's literacy stations. They also approved an agreement to provide medical services for the Kingsport Police Department. We currently have a jail, which is a temporary holding facility. Prisoners are processed in Kingsport and then they're transported to Blountville when a number of prisoners can be transported at one time. The option is for the city to close the jail and take prisoners one at a time to Blountville for processing, and that would take an officer off the street for an extended period of time, and our police administration felt very strongly that that was not in the best interest of our community, so they discovered a medical professional or medical provider called Southern Health that they could contract with for $30,000, meet the new minimum criteria that have been advanced by the state, and allow us to keep that temporary holding facility operable. So I applaud the police department for being creative in answering that question, and also for ensuring that we'll have plenty of police presence in Kingsport, not just waiting to be processed into a jail in Blountville. We accepted a donation of wetlands adjacent to the Reedy Creek Terrace Shopping Center. Several years ago, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen set a goal to acquire wetlands as they become available in the Reedy Creek and Horse Creek floodplains. And to date, over 300 acres have been acquired or donated in those areas. And that is just to be a good steward of the wetlands, and also to bank them so that as future development takes place, we can have that land available to offset any kind of development impacts that may occur in other parts of town. Roger Ball, who's the developer of Reedy Creek Terrace, had acreage behind that shopping center off Eastman Road. It's the one that includes Panera Bread and Starbucks. And so he agreed to donate that to the stormwater program. We also agreed to install a bridge from the backside of Reedy Creek Terrace near Reedy Creek Bicycles over to the Greenbelt, so it does provide direct access to the shopping center and further integrates, the Greenbelt with its surrounding properties, which is a very important aspect of that development. Also approved an extension of the existing tri-party agreement between the YMCA, Eastman Credit Union, and the City of Kingsport. As you may know, the YMCA is going through a major expansion right now, and so all we did was expand the existing agreement to cover that new expansion, so it will allow them to continue that project. The Kingsport City Schools GED program, which is called HiSET, we renewed a lease with them at Blazer Wilson Hall, which is also known as the Regional Center for Applied Technology, which will allow that GED program to continue at that location. We also approved an agreement for colleges to participate in higher education classes at the Phillips Campbell Hall, which is also known as the Kingsport Center for Higher Education. Each participating college pays $50,000 a year for the opportunity to offer classes in that building, and that money is divided 50-50 between Northeast State and the City of Kingsport. When the building was originally built, the City of Kingsport funded all of the fixed expenses related to the building, and Northeast State funded all of the furnishings, fixtures, and personnel inside the building to manage it. Also security, IT, fiber optic networks, and all of the things that go inside a building. So this money helps offset those expenses. We accepted a gift for property for Borden Park from Eastman. Eastman acquired Borden Mill some time ago and tore down that structure. To the general public, you would assume that everything bounded in the block where Borden Park is located belongs to the City of Kingsport, but there's actually some acreage that doesn't. So Eastman went ahead and made that formal and dedicated that property for Borden Park. They also requested that we do away with utility easements since the building's no longer there and they're no longer needed, and of course we took care of that as well. Also, it's the end of the fiscal year, so there's a number of appointments and reappointments to cities, boards, commissions, and committees that came up, and the board decided to fill those last night. We had reappointments to the Bays Mountain Park Commission of Robin Kirkhoff and Russ Brogdon. We also had reappointments to the Public Art Committee of Bruce Shine, Brad Hoover, Roy Harmon, Beverly Purdue, and Jeffrey Stoner. We had reappointments to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee of Alan Mead, Reba Barber, and Susan Crime. We had reappointments to the Tree Advisory Board of Brandon Lemons, Christine Barger, and Cole Lusk. We had appointments to the Senior Center Advisory Council of Carmen Moy, Lester Pridemore, Carol Woodard, Jean Chang, Bruce Shine, Norma Livesey, and Sherry Mosley. We had appointments to the Cattails Management Advisory Committee of Ken Manus, Lynn Mosley, and Lynn Mosley and Wes Argabright. We had reappointments to the Meadowview Conference Resort and Convention Center Advisory Committee of Lori Cooper, Lynn Shipley, Mike O'Neill, Olin Jones, Ken Manus, Miles Burdine, and Wayne Culbertson. If you have an interest in serving on a board, commission, or committee of the City of Kingsport, I would encourage you to call the mayor's office and submit your name, and as future opportunities become available, you'll certainly be considered. That's your quick update on what's going on in Kingsport, and as always, I appreciate you following at kingsportblogger.com.